Introduction of method. 1. Restoration cost is the amount of money it costs to restore the form and function of the damaged part of covered property. 2. Relocation costs are any expenses that companies offer when providing a package to employees who move to another location. 3. A prevention cost is any company spending intended to reduce the number of errors in products or services. 4. A defensive expenditure occurs when we spend money on something that does not increase our welfare, or is necessary to avoid a decrease in well-being.
Importances of the methods.
Sustainability. Restoration cost is crucial for achieving sustainability. By considering restoration costs, policymakers can ensure that projects are designed and implemented in a way that minimizes environmental and social impacts, promoting long-term sustainability. Long-term planning. Restoration cost is important for long-term planning. By considering restoration costs, policymakers can ensure that projects are designed and implemented in a way that promotes long-term sustainability and minimizes environmental and social impacts. Relocation cost is a key component in environmental impact assessments, which aim to evaluate the potential environmental effects of a project. By considering relocation costs, policymakers can better understand the overall environmental and economic implications of a project and make more informed decisions. Policy development. Relocation cost is important for developing effective policies. By considering relocation costs, policymakers can develop policies that are more effective in mitigating environmental and social impacts, promoting economic efficiency, and achieving sustainability. Environmental quality improvement. Preventive expenditures on environmental quality can significantly improve the overall quality of the environment. 6. Economic growth. Defensive expenditures can also contribute to economic growth by promoting sustainable natural resources and reducing environmental hazards.
Now, let's delve into the case study of Johor's mangrove restoration project. The Johor state government undertook this project to rehabilitate degraded mangrove areas. The restoration costs included expenses for planting mangrove seedlings, monitoring their growth, and implementing protection measures to prevent further degradation. The outcomes of this initiative are multifaceted. Mangroves provide significant coastal protection by acting as natural barriers against erosion and storm surges. They also offer essential fishery habitats, serving as breeding and nursery grounds for various fish species, which supports local fisheries and enhances biodiversity. Additionally, mangroves are highly efficient at sequestering carbon dioxide, contributing to climate change mitigation.
Next case is for restoration cost is coral reef restoration in Tioman Island. Case: coral reefs around Tioman Island suffered from bleaching and physical damage due to tourism and climate change. Restoration cost: restoration efforts included coral transplantation, artificial reef structures, and regular monitoring. Outcome: the goal was to revive the coral ecosystem to support marine biodiversity, improve fishery resources, and boost tourism.
Now, let's look at the case study of the Bacan Dam project. This hydroelectric project required the relocation of approximately 10,000 indigenous people from their ancestral lands to the Sungai ASAP resettlement scheme. The relocation costs method was used to estimate the financial and social expenses involved in this massive undertaking. The relocation costs included building new homes for the displaced individuals in the resettlement area, developing essential infrastructure such as roads, schools, and healthcare facilities, and providing social services to support the community during the transition. Second case for relocation cost is pollution-intensive industries in Guangdong, China. To lessen pollution in Foshan, the ceramics industry in Guangdong province was relocated to Qingyuan. The financial impact of this transfer, including the costs associated with building new facilities, developing the infrastructure, and managing the environment at the new location, was evaluated using the relocation cost approach. This instance showed how shifting sectors might lessen environmental harm while taking the related financial expenses into account. Lastly, the preventive method. First one is Kyoto Protocol. The Kyoto Protocol, adopted in 1997, aimed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions globally as a preventive measure against climate change. By setting binding targets for developed countries, promoted early actions to mitigate long-term environmental damage. Second is Clean Air Act, USA. The Clean Air Act, enacted in 1970 and amended in 1990, is a prime example of preventive regulation aimed at reducing air pollution. It established national standards for air quality to protect public health and the environment from the adverse effects of air pollution.